Is it time to move on from King Henry? We're going to talk about that in today's show, along with a Ryan Tannehill injury update. As with the slow start and Tannehill's now injury that, well, he could be out for a bit. Is it time to let go of the running back that has really been a success maker in Tennessee? Before we get to that, though, I got a challenge for all of the Titans fans, as I want you to help me out. I want you to help Titans Today out. We're trying to grow the Titans fan base here on Titans Today, and the best way to do that is by sharing this video to Titans fans. If you got friends, if you got family in Tennessee, share them this video. And the best part about it, if you click the share button, you select the Twitter icon, you post it to Twitter, and you tag me, well, guess what? You're going to get a shout out in a future Titans Today video. So go do those 4 steps below, and you could be on a future episode of Titans Today. Titans fans, we appreciate you watching. My name is Jace Andrews, and once again, you're watching Titans Today by Chat Sports. And today's topics, I mentioned it in the intro, but we're going to talk a Ryan Tannehill injury update. Good news. Derrick Henry trade proposals are also going to come into this because I got to be honest, it's looking more and more likely that King Henry will be moved before the 31st here on this NFL trade deadline, but that's for a little bit later in the show. Let's start with the Ryan Tannehill injury update, as he came back yesterday to Nashville from London and had an MRI on that right ankle. Well, it came back that it's just a high right ankle sprain, and the results were promising. We got this from Jeff Darlington today saying, unlike last year when Titans QB Ryan Tannehill suffered a similar ankle injury, I'm told Tannehill will not require surgery this time around. He's currently in a cast, diagnosed with a high ankle sprain, and there's no definitive timeline for his recovery. But overall, good news. Well, I like that. I like to hear that Tannehill is healthy. That's always good to hear. But I think there has to be some talk about his play this year and knowing whether or not he deserves the starting spot if he comes back healthy, when he comes back healthy. But either way, I'm always rooting for a guy to be healthy. But 2 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. That's not what you look for in a guy. Not what you look for in a guy. He just hasn't been the quarterback that the Titans got back in 4 years ago with 2020. Looked absolutely impressive. But I will say, from that tweet, it doesn't sound like he's going to be back in time for the Falcons game in 2 weeks. So guess what? That means a couple weeks for Malik Willis or Will Levis, depending on who Mike Vrabel decides to start. I doubt that they're going to get Tannehill back on the field, considering last year, again, he missed 5 games. Now, he did have surgery. That's the one where you're required to miss 3. But he missed 2 games earlier in the season. Now, if you do that this week, he'd miss the bye week, but then he'd also miss the Falcons game. So I'm thinking there's going to be some time for Malik Willis or Will Levis to come in and step in. But I talked about it a little bit. Do you even think that Tannehill deserves the starting spot if he comes back, or rather when he comes back healthy? Because I'm just not sold on it. I just don't understand why it goes. So let me know in the comment section below your opinion. Type S for start if you think that you should start Tannehill, or type B for bench Tannehill if you think, nah, we're done. His time in Tennessee should be over. Let's move on and see what Malik Willis and Will Levis got. I'll tell you what, though, I'm done with Tannehill. I'm done with him because I get it. Was he a good trade? Was he a good guy to have on this team for the past couple years? Yes. In 2020, he was magnificent. The problem is he just doesn't fit into the Titans' game plan today. He looks sluggish on the field. He's throwing it in a double coverage literally every time we look. I'm just done with him. And the fact that over the past 2 years you've drafted 2 quarterbacks, it doesn't make sense. I think you have to let Will Levis or Malik Willis go out there and see what happens with those 2. I just don't get it, because at the same time, you have Malik Willis, who was a top-regarded quarterback prospect. You have Will Levis, who was also a top-regarded quarterback prospect, and you're not using him when your starting quarterback is underperforming. It makes no sense, and Mike Vrabel continues to defend Tannehill and continues to say he will be the starter if he is healthy. But I just don't understand why. We'll have to find out, though, but for right now, it looks like Malik Willis and Will Levis will get a shot at the starting nod for at least 1 game. Let's go into the second topic of today's video, and that is for a trade for King Henry. We're going to break down Bleacher Report's trade proposals that they released on the Titans star running back and see which one of these look appealing and which one of these would even make sense for the Titans, given that the 2-4 record and the potential of not making the playoffs and wanting more draft stock for the 2024 draft. The first one we're going to look at is between the Titans and the Ravens, where the Titans get Devin Duvernay along with You get a second-round pick and a fifth-round pick. Derrick Henry would go to the Ravens. I like that, but I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to talk about that more, but what I'm going to tell you is Game Time is the place to go for all your ticket buying needs. I use it all the time. In fact, I was looking to go to an NFL game just a couple weeks ago, and it was Saturday evening. Well, guess what? I picked up the Game Time app, and within 2 minutes, I had my tickets at the lowest price on any other app. I couldn't find it any lower besides Game Time. It was the best place to go, and it's not just for sports. They have music, comedy, theater, and every event in your area, and they make sure that you don't have to worry about buying tickets to your next big event, but rather they're going to give you the peace of mind when buying tickets with their best price guarantee. Plus, with their app, it's super easy to use. You get pictures of your tickets, and heck, if you want to go to the Titans game here coming up, well, guess what? They're playing the Falcons. It's at home. Why not show up? So go to Game Time, and the best part about this is we're going to give you a special discount code for Titans Today viewers. If you go and download the Game Time app and then go to the redeem code section and put in Titans Chat, you're going to get $20 off your first purchase. Again, take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account using code TitansChat for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code TITANSCHAT, TitansChat, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets at the lowest price guarantee. Gotcha. I heard back, and I was like, what does that mean? I kind of noticed it too, and I was like, all right, try to back up, but I think I just naturally go forward. So, well, good break though. Good there. So taking a further look here at this Ravens trade, the player that the Titans would receive is Devin Duvernay. Now, over his career, he's been more of a returner than a receiver, but the receiving stats, well, they're not that bad. And I'm the type of guy that I like the average over any other stat in terms of wide receivers. And 9.7, that's not that bad. 5 touchdowns, that's neither here nor there. You're not going to worry about it. Lamar Jackson kind of just runs it in for the Ravens. But hey, that's not that bad. Plus, you're going to get 2 picks in a stacked draft. I like that. Now, a lot of these proposed trades, you're going to get 2 picks in a stacked draft. But the fact that you get Devin Duvernay on top of it, who, one, is going to add to your wide receiver core, which you definitely need right now. You also get a key return man who can be absolutely electric in the return game. I kind of like this. But, I mean, I'm only part of the Titans fan base. What do you think? Do you like this Henry to the Ravens? Do you like it? Well, let me know. Type Y for yes or type N for no if you think this trade would be one that you would be willing to make with Derrick Henry going to the Ravens. Again, get in the comment section, type Y for yes or type N for no. This one's going to be the pinned comment on today's video. I like it, to be honest. Young wide receiver talent plus draft stock. You're not going to get too much better offers than that. And we're going to talk about a couple of the other ones, and I'm going to show you why I think this one may be the best one, but I'm not truly sold on it just yet. But overall, I like it. You get a young wide receiver, which, again, you need, plus the draft stock. Really, really important takeaways there. The second team that Bleacher Report proposed to trade to was the Buffalo Bills. Now, this one, instead of getting a wide receiver, you're going to get Latavius Murray along with these 2024 second and fifth round pick. That's going to be pretty much in every one of these trades. Second and fifth round seems like the easy range for this Derrick Henry proposed trade. But Latavius Murray, a running back who has been, well, a travel man, to say the least, was in Buffalo this year. He played with both Denver and New Orleans in 2022, and then Baltimore back in 2021. The stats don't pop off the boards, but that's exactly because he's a little bit of an older running back. I don't mind it. He's cheap, he's valuable, but at the same time, I don't really like this one just for the simple fact that this trade makes no sense because I don't want an older running back. That's not what this team is going for. It's exactly the point of almost, not going to say that Derrick Henry is an old running back, but you're giving him up because, well, he's a running back. He's getting to a higher level of age, and other teams would use him to get a good amount back. There's no reason to take an older running back, especially when you're trying to build this team with some young pieces. That's just my opinion, though. Let's go to the next trade that we have proposed from Bleacher Report, which is to the Cincinnati Bengals. In this one, you're getting a 2024 second-round pick and a 2024 fifth-round pick. So the key thing in this one, no player. So with Bleacher Report, they're saying with the Bengals, you're not going to get a player out of it, which I think leads me to the question of, do you even want to trade Derrick Henry if you're not going to get a player out of it? If you want to keep Derrick Henry, well, then type K in the comments today. And if you want to think, you know what, it's time for Henry to go. We've had him, we've loved him, but we got to start building this team from the ground up. Then type T for trade. Let me know in the comment section of today's video, do you want to trade Derrick Henry at all? With the Bengals trade, I'm going to pass on this one just for the simple fact that there's other offers that are better out there along with this. If you're not getting a player and you're getting the same amount of picks, the only thing that really you're gaining is extra cap space, I guess. But at the same time, what are you going to use that cap space on? I don't understand this one. I would pass on that trade. It doesn't really make sense. The fourth and final trade proposed by Bleacher Report is to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this one would include Boston Scott and then the same second and fifth round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. Again, I'm not really looking for a running back. That's not what we're going for right now. The key in this team has been really wide receivers. Honestly, the NFL has proven time and time again that you can draft a running back in the later rounds and he can provide very needed depth. Well, you also, on top of it, have a running back one in the wings potentially. I don't know. Jace Spears has looked really good out of Tulane. 31 carries for over 170 yards. Plus, he had a receiving catch this past week in London that went for 48 yards. He was the leading receiver in the London game for the Titans, with DeAndre Hopkins on the field. All I'm going to say is, I'm not saying Jace Spears is the next star running back, but you kind of shown that you can draft some young running backs and they can work out really, really well. We've seen that time and time again with a bunch of teams. I mean, heck, you look at Raheem Mostert wasn't drafted high. He's doing some great things in Miami. You look at Isaiah Pacheco with the Chiefs. He wasn't drafted high. He's doing great things in Kansas City. You don't need to draft a running back for them to perform well. I think you have possibly a running back one of the wings, and there's no reason to get an older one. Now, I will say I do want something for Derrick Henry. I want a player on top of that. So what would you like in return for Derrick Henry? Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of options to ponder and maybe think about when putting your answer. So the first thing is, it sounds like a second and fifth round pick are the key options. If you take a player out, I honestly think Derrick Henry may be worth a late first and a sixth. That's just my opinion, though. What would you like, though, in return to give up King Henry? He's been a crucial part of this Tennessee Titans team for a long time. What would it take to give up really a pride and soul piece of this Titans team? Well, I think that's going to be all for us today, but I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to the Titans Today YouTube channel, as guess what? We're going to be putting out videos all year long. And guess what? More subs, more videos, more content, more Titans for you. And guess what? We're going to have a lot more fun because the more subs, again, we're going to have a lot more partiers here on Titans Today. We appreciate you watching. As always, if you made it to the end of the video, you are a real one. But for now, peace out.